What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
So welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football. We're bringing fresh soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans who have seen success within the sport. We'll also bring you news from our favorite teams within the Premier League, MLS, and NWSL, as well as the other top European leagues and soccer news worldwide. Whether this is your first episode with us or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, thank you to all of our friends and supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. Mike, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you, man? Salam, how was your weekend?
It was great, man. I had a really good Easter. Hopefully, you guys had a good Easter as well too. Happy Easter to all of our listeners. Gabriel, how you feeling?
Hey, it's great on this side. Great on this side. How you feeling, Cornelius?
Good, man. To echo salam, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday to all those who celebrate. It was a good weekend here in Cleveland. The weather was great, and we'll get into it, but it's a lot going on, man. Playoff basketball here in Cleveland. Inter Miami, made the trip up here to see the great city of Cleveland and play the Crew at Brown Stadium. Now it's called. So it was cool. It was just a very, very packed weekend. But a lot of good stuff going around. So before we hop into our European teams and our MLS teams, did want to touch on the NWSL just a little bit. Last week we were talking about our teams who we're going to be mainly supporting through the season. It's tough to say that, right after she just came back from injury, Trinity Rodman went down with a back injury. She'll be out indefinitely, so not exactly sure what her timetable looks like at all. But shout out to the Washington Spirit. We're still able to get the win this past weekend. But just prayers to her. Hopefully, it's a speedy recovery. Just wanted to highlight that, but to move it over to the MLS, we want to talk about our teams, but rumor mill has it that Kevin De Bruyne may be crossing the pond, coming over to the U.S., maybe playing for Chicago Fire. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think this move is imminent? I mean, like Salam says, when the Premier Leagues ends in the summer or in the summer coming up here in May, this guy could always come to a U.S. team and help somebody out. So, what do we think about getting to the MLS?
I don't know. I think it'd be weird for him to go to Chicago. Out of all teams, Chicago, that's just not the city that I would see him at. But as a whole, I mean, if he comes here, he's gonna ball out. I don't care what. It doesn't matter for what team. He's gonna do well. That's like a walking 20-20 pretty much all season if he's healthy. Especially in the MLS where a decent amount of goals. He'll score on free kicks. He'll have the quality to just someone will give him too much space and he has the quality to just curl one. So, and then we know the vision that he has. So, I just think I just don't see him playing in the cold. I wouldn't expect him to come to America and play in the cold. That's my thing. When a lot of players come from England, I feel like, or just from overseas in general, I feel like they want to go to those warmer cities. Charlotte, Inter Miami, Atlanta. They play in a dome. They want to play those warmer climates. So it's a little surprising to me that's my only thing. It's a little surprising to me that he would go to Chicago out of all teams. But like I said, if they have the pull and they get him, kudos to Chicago. You guys obviously will get a stud, and I mean that. Him alone just makes you so much closer to winning an MLS Cup. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's the guy who can single-handedly win you games. So, yeah, I think it'd be a great pickup for them, great for the league. But I just think it's interesting that he'd go to Chicago. I thought he want to come to America and kind of for your retirement run. I think you would want to go somewhere warm, LA, San Diego, Miami, Atlanta, so, I don't know, Charlotte, anywhere warm, South Texas, I'm surprised about Chicago. That's cold over there. The season starts cold and ends cold, so yeah.
I mean, for me, I think it would be a great move for the league if we can get him in Chicago, I think it would be a great move for the league
For
in
sure.
general because it allows the league to kind of spread out the talent, so you're not stockpiling all the quote unquote star players in LA or in Miami or whatever it may be. I mean, he's 33 years old right now. If he can give us a good 3 to 4 years in the MLS, bro, it's good for the league, man. I know people, there's the running joke that it's kind of the retirement leagues for the big players, but for us, it's been great. I mean, look at this past weekend, Inter Miami, Messi. Look, 60,000 came out to come see that. So I think it's good for the league either way, but Chicago would be a good spot for me because it would allow the talent in the MLS to be more spread around.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I agree. I think I mean Chicago's a big market, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean obviously they've been needing kind of a star in that franchise for a while now. So and with their history, I mean they're one of the oldest teams in Major League Soccer. So I think it'd be a great move from a personnel standpoint. I think he would really kickstart that offense. I think he'd be great for a young player like Brian Gutierrez for him to learn someone off of Kevin De Bruyne. He has that Belgium connection already with Hugo Cypers, the striker, who is
Mm-hmm.
already. I mean, he scored against us a really nice goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with that, and then you have Jonathan Bamba, a very fast winger. He can get him into space. I think it's a great move. Um, I think it would be, and then also obviously for him to go into a situation where Greg Berhalter is the coach, one of the best coaches in the league. I think is
Yeah.
good for a player like
Mm-hmm.
him who's never been in the league before. But
Yeah.
I think it would make them a serious contender in the East. I think that they would really make a push, and I'd be curious to see. Well, obviously his contract runs out in what, June, July. I don't even know if he's even going to do the Club World Cup with them. I would imagine he probably
No,
fulfills
he
his obligation.
probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he would fulfill his obligations there and then come to the league. But yeah, man, he's already in shape in the league. Is already started here in MLS. So why
Yeah.
not? I would like to see it.
Yeah, I think it's slow enough to where that it wouldn't be a problem. It'll kind of fit the speed he's at right now in his career. So I wouldn't mind seeing it for real, for real. I would love to see KDB in Chicago, but if
He
it's
actually
somewhere
he,
else, I wouldn't mind it either.
he
Hey,
actually
come to
might look.
Columbus.
Yeah,
Listen, he might look fresh. He actually might look like a fresh player.
Yeah, exactly.
From the intensity from the Prem to come to MLS, it might look like he's a gearhead. Who knows?
so right now, Chicago Fire is in 8th place. Do you think? And the top 8 teams are Charlotte, Cincinnati, in that order. Inter Miami, Columbus, Philadelphia, Nashville, Orlando, Chicago. So where does that put them in the Eastern Conference?
I mean, we've been talking.
Chicago's dangerous. I mean,
Fifth.
they're a dangerous team. So if you add KDB to it, they could make a playoff push, in my opinion. They really
They'll make
could.
the
Right
playoff.
now, they're not that far off. I mean, I know it's early, so they're in a good
They'll make the
spot, but
playoffs.
I
Yeah,
think they could make a
Eastern
push.
Conference Finals.
I
With
mean,
KDB, no.
I don't know. So I look at it this way. I
East
mean,
is deep.
yeah, the East is very deep. When you look at the top 3, 4 teams, they're all sitting on 18, 19, 17, 16 points early in the season too. These guys are getting goals. But who's in first place right now? Charlotte, and we've been talking about it.
It's
Zaha
not.
hasn't even
Yeah.
really started going, but
No.
just the influence of a player like that has catapulted Charlotte to first place now. And so I think if Chicago gets a player like Kevin, they could jump 4 or 5 spots just based on things like Gabriel said, pure quality. He's going to get a few free kicks. He's going to get a few, curlers because he gets too open. So, you know, we'll see. Chicago is scary right now if they get Kevin De Bruyne. But yeah, man, just stuff. Just wanted to talk about that. While we're in the MLS, might as well keep it. About the Eastern Conference right now. Inter Miami came up to Cleveland and played against the Crew. My first MLS experience, like Mike said, 60,000. Shout out Zion. Had a ticket, last minute. I was coaching. He gave me a call like, "Hey, do you want to go to this game? I had a friend that dropped out." So just an incredible experience, just being able to see Messi, just in real time. Like Salam said, he did do a lot of walking, but I mean, just whenever he got the ball, the crowd got excited, like, and to a lot of the non-soccer players, I know they were kind of complaining that he didn't get too off, but even just seeing him, every time he touched the ball, we had two or three around him. Most of the time he had to defend off Nagby or defend off one of our center mids while having a defender close in on him. Most of the time he was double teamed, just to see the quality and a lot of the players on that Miami team. They were clinical. The crew had a lot of chances, especially in the second half. Those last 10, 15 minutes, there were a lot of chances in the box, a lot of half chances around the box. But, Miami, they held off. I didn't even really think that they played a great game, but, they were able to get that point. And that's the mark of a championship team, where you can go to an away match, not really foreign territory, and you still get away with that win. Especially, it was an early goal too. They scored in the first half, so for them to keep the crew to a clean sheet, it was dope to see. It's good to see greatness, but yeah, this East is tough. Mike, how do you feel about the game?
It was actually a kind of a frustrating game because we definitely outplayed them. There's no questions about it. I just thought we weren't very clinical at all. One thing that stood out to me though, Gazdag has been a huge plus to this crew team. The only obvious thing missing right now is a striker. I've spoken about Russell Rowe a lot, and I think he just needs help. He's not there right now to be the one leading the crew as our main striker. I'm sorry, but it's the honest truth. I mean, at some point in the first half, the commentator was saying he's touched the ball 4 times, and the half was almost over. So it's like, yeah, I know sometimes it can get difficult, especially in games like this, um, especially playing, against a quality team like Inter Miami. I understand, but there were some chances at the end, like you said, the last 15 minutes could have at least had one goal, and he wasn't even able to get a shot on target. So not a lot of criticism towards him, but just just honesty, just the fact that he's not there yet. He might need a striker that he might need to play off of. Maybe that's the type of player we need him to be at this time in his career. But overall, I thought Columbus was obviously better than Inter Miami. Their one clear chance they got, they put it away. It was a nice header. You can't even be mad at it because beautiful header. Cross, I think it was like a 3-pass play from Suarez to their winger right into the box. So you can't even complain about that. But overall, this was the typical Columbus crew that I was afraid we would see a lot of this season. A lot of chances, but the finishing touch wasn't there. But overall, I thought it was still a good performance. Can't even complain about it.
Yeah,
that's fair. I was just I kind of want to hear, like, how do you think that they played against Messi? Because sometimes people say that they kind of like lay off of him a little bit, like they don't want to. Sometimes when you have too much respect for someone, it's like, I'm not really trying to go into this tackle. But I mean, I think against you guys, he looked the same way he looked against us. Like he didn't really. I would say he even looked more lively in your guys' game. In our game, bro, it was literally. And it was also a cup game as well too. But he didn't. He did a lot of walking, but it only took for about 10 minutes really for him to do the damage. He had a goal and an assist in a span of 10 minutes.
That's all he needs. That's all he needs.
All he needs. Bouncing off defenders. You can clearly tell like he's a level above, even at where he's at in his career. Like there's a big difference of levels of where he's at and where the rest of the league is. But obviously watching him it's a treat, man. It's definitely like one of those bucket list things. I never thought I would ever see Messi play with my own eyes. So one of the best player ever. Probably.
I mean, it's in the conversation.
Yeah. I also got to see Suarez, Jordi Alba. I mean,
Sergio Busquets.
Yeah. Mhm.
Who is the most like fascinating? Obviously, Messi is Messi, but out of the three of them, like who was the one that was like, wow? For me, it was Busquets.
Yeah, Busquets is crazy, but Jordi Alba still got it, man. He's
Yeah.
like,
He was moving.
bro, he was moving, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's on the outside, so you're seeing him beat players, you're seeing him like actually at speed, and you're like, yo, this guy is a freak athlete. You know, Jordi Alba's not big, and he's played on the biggest stage, and he's still able to like go, like to be at that age and still just go like that. I'm like, yo, like
Yeah.
it was. I was actually like seeing him like, yo, he could definitely beat me in a race right now. like no questions asked. He's beating me in a race, but yeah, Jordi Alba was cool to see. I mean, obviously Messi too.
I mean, Nagby, you got to give Nagby a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe they said this was his first time ever playing a professional game in his hometown. So
Right.
it's a big deal for him. Yeah.
No, the stadium was rocking. Shout out to those Crew Ultras because there were really some Crew Ultras. They got some super fans out there.
The
But it was-
Nordecki. Shout out to the Nordecki.
We brought the Nordecki to Huntington Bank.
Yeah, no, they was rocking, man. They had the drums and everything. They had the whole drum line, cowbells, everything was rocking. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, you drive down a little bit more down 71 South, you get to Cincinnati. You know, Cincinnati got the dub this weekend. You know, they are trying to prove something to you Crew guys. So just wanted to say shout out to FCC. Salam, talk about the weekend win.
Massive win. If you tuned into my recap that we posted earlier today, it was a huge win for us away from home against a really good Chicago team. I'm sorry, I should have started with this. Rest in peace to Aaron Bupenza. Tragic news of him passing away in China. He was a big part, I would say, in the 2023 run that FC Cincinnati had to get the supporter shield. So rest in peace to him. Then condolences to him and his family, man. Really young guy, had a lot of life to live. But shout out to Denke for obviously paying homage to him and showing that respect when he got the goal. I love to see that from one African to another. To just pay homage, man, and you know, for someone who kind of came before you. And but yeah, I mean, obviously, like when he scores, man, he really gives me the confidence of like he just needs to see the ball go into the back of the net, because I think once he starts going, I think that he's going to be really tough for a lot of defenders throughout the season. And I mean, for me, the biggest, I feel like we're getting to a part now where we're starting to click. Evander, I mean, I just saw this stat here, and I wanted to bring this up. Evander has hit 30 goals and 25 assists in only 62 MLS games. So already is making a statement in his short amount of time in the MLS. Obviously, he started his MLS career with the Portland Timbers, but one of the best attacking midfielders, probably the best creator in the league. And my not even early shout, I said this day one when we started. That's my pick for MVP. So I'm not surprised. I feel like we are where we're supposed to be. Everybody's getting back to full health. Miazga, I'm happy to see him back, but to be very honest with you, he looked like someone who was just coming back from a long-term injury. But Miles Robinson held us down. And yeah, man, once we get Obina, we'll be fine. But I believe great victory, great 3 points. And shout out to Denke and rest in peace to Bupenza.
Yeah, I mean, you touched a little bit about Evander, who left Portland, came to Cincinnati, correct? And I forgot the other guy that went over to Portland. What's his name? I just watched him this weekend against LA.
Kelsey?
The Cincinnati cat. Didn't you guys trade somebody for Evander?
Nah.
Acosta. Is it Acosta? No, where did he go?
Yeah, he went to Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. Okay,
Yeah,
my bad. But I was just watching Timber this weekend against LAFC. I mean, I think it's the most exciting game I watched this weekend. Dude, 3-3 was the final score, by the way. I
Just
mean,
over.
I'm seeing Olivier Giroud hit free kicks. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that was nuts.
what was going on? Olivier
Double bar
Giroud.
down, fam.
Isn't it crazy though? It's like you had that in your locker. I've
I'm
never
like,
seen you
wait,
take a free kick ever.
this late in your career, like crazy. But it was nice to see. You know, it's his first MLS goal of the season. But a big shout out to Portland, man. What a game! So they were up, I believe, 2-1. Went up 3-1. LA ended up coming back, tying the game. No, LA ended up coming back, tying the game 2-2, and then took the lead with a late PK. And then Portland, I'm talking like a minute or 2 minutes right after the PK, they got it back. I mean, it was a great game to watch this weekend. I believe the Neville brother, I can't remember his first name.
Phil.
It's not Phil Neville is their manager. And bro, if you guys get a chance to watch Portland, one of these, match weeks, try to catch them because bro, they are flying up and down the field. I couldn't tell if LA was just that bad or Portland was just playing that good, but it was a great game to watch. So I wanted to shout out Portland.
Yeah, they got De Silva over there. Da Costa. Da Costa.
Costa, that's the guy I wanted to talk about. De Costa, pretty good guy too.
Yeah, and then Anthony as well too.
Bro, they still have Chara over there. I'm like, wait,
Diego Chara, yeah.
what was going on?
Bro, Diego Chara has been playing
still
for
playing. Yeah,
bro. He's 39, bro. 39.
Wow. Yeah, I knew it was old because I was like, I haven't watched Portland in a long time. I'm not even gonna lie. So when I saw it was a late game too, so I'm like, you know what? I'll watch this game. It looks exciting, and to see him still playing, I was like, wow, this guy was playing when I was like freshman in college. He's still playing.
Yeah. Did y'all see the little scuffle that happened between LA Galaxy and Austin FC? I saw your boy Brad Stuber was playing policeman, man. He was trying to calm everybody down. But
LA Galaxy don't need to be fighting. They need
need to focus on the match.
Yeah,
bro, it's frustrating though, bro, because they, like when you're like I've been there, like as a coach too, like when you're with youth players, it's all relative, right? But like like when you're struggling, like in the season. And then it's like you get to a point where it's like, you know what, a draw here wouldn't even be bad away from home. And then it's like you concede in the 80th, and it's like it's so demoralizing, bro. Because it's like, damn, it's. I mean, you can see the frustration on their faces, man. Like these are the reigning champs, but only in the MLS can you, I guess, win a league, win the championship, and then the next year, you just like. You have to tear apart your team for financial reasons. Like only in the MLS. There's I don't quote me if I'm wrong. We can look this up. I don't think there's ever been a back-to-back MLS champion.
LA Galaxy, maybe they might be the last one to do it. I don't know, but that's off the top of my head. They were the team that came.
Let me see. The MLS twice in a row. You said this, the LA Galaxy with who? Beckham in
That's my guess. That's my guess.
Back in the 2000s, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Good call, Mike.
Okay.
So LA Galaxy have won it in the MLS Cup twice in a row. Most recently in 2011 and 2012. Before them, DC United won back in 96 and 97. Wow. And then Houston Dynamo won in 06 and 07. I stand corrected. So.
Okay.
Actually, I do remember that Houston Dynamo era. They were nice.
Yeah,
they were. I had to figure out who that was on that team. I remember that team being very good though.
Brian Ching, the striker.
Oh my God.
Gabriel Cornelius, y'all know about him, man. Y'all young, man. Y'all young. Brian Ching. Ooh, bro, he was a killer. Yeah, man. Kai Kamara even had a stop at Houston Dynamo. Mike, I don't know if you remember the Ghanaian Kofi Sarkodie. He came at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
As Nagby. They both played together at Akron.
Of course.
Yeah. Get well soon.
But what do you guys think is LA Galaxy's problem? Because, I mean, I personally can't put a finger on it. I don't know if they're just still, hungover from, their championship season, but They got to start winning some games. I know I texted it in the group, over and under if they're going to win 15 games. To be honest, I don't think they're going to win 10 games. They just don't look like they can win a game.
It comes for me. It really just comes down to lapses and when it lapse in focus and mentality, because the mistakes and some of the goals that teams score against them are just like, as a team, you guys are collectively bad for this 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Why? Like, why does everyone shut off for this minute? You can't teach that, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. And it's some teams just have that. I mean, there's a team in England that we speak about all the time that they can go up 2-3-0 and in a heartbeat, everything just collapses. We don't know why, but it's just a mentality thing. And that's where I think they're at. I think they need to see one go through.
They do have a lot of injuries too, though. So
yeah,
I mean,
but
Royce is
Mike,
injured.
this is unacceptable, bro.
Rique Puig is injured. He's been one of their, bright spots.
What are we, 9 matches in?
Yeah.
I mean, they won the title.
We're 9 matches in. Yeah. Nah, man. We're 9 matches in and you don't have a dub. It's an issue.
Defending
these are Southampton numbers, fam.
You know what that means, though? That means that summertime, someone's coming.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a big,
but still, it's still unacceptable. Still unacceptable.
Rasmus Højlund.
Hey, it could be.
Hey, it's his level.
His level.
He'll bang in the MLS. That's for sure. He will bang in the MLS. No doubt. I might be wrong.
Razzmatazz, yeah.
Oh, Rasmus. Anyways,
that's definitely and MLS talk. But yeah, man, definitely go check out the MLS recaps if you have not. But yeah, good MLS talk. There are a lot of exciting games this weekend. But to jump over to the Premier League, it's coming to a very, very bittersweet end here. Last few matches of the year, already in match week 33. Couple smash and grabs this weekend,
Yeah.
Couple smash and grabs this weekend. Unfortunately, not all of us were on the winning sides of those. Manchester United suffered a pretty tough defeat.
Salam, do you want us to skip you? It's cool. I know you probably don't.
I need to hear them bells. Where them bells
at? I don't have anything to
Just keep it short and sweet, man. Just keep it short and sweet.
Where them bells at?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not really concerned at all. Any of this.
Where them bells at?
This is formality.
I need them bells, Salam. I need to hear them bells drop.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
Okay, that's how you acting.
No, listen, man. I'll keep it short. I mean, for me, I would really like to just touch on the game that happened on Thursday. This past weekend for me, we lost 1-0 with, I would say, most of our B team. I really don't take too much into this. We're not going to get relegated. I think Matthias Cunha had a decent showing. Obviously, we're linked to him, so if we get someone like him in the summer, great. But I didn't really take too much away from the game, except for I thought the youngsters, Amas and Fredrickson, did well. Fredrickson, to be very honest with you, I didn't really expect him to play. From the crop of youngsters that we had, I thought that there would have just been other people that would have gotten opportunities more. I thought Obi would have been playing more. I thought Kone, the guy from Guinea, would have been playing more as well too. But I mean, from the little that I saw of Fredrickson and Amas, I think that they both played well. And hopefully this summer, I would like to see what they do with the little preseason. Whether that means getting a move somewhere else or playing a parts with our team, we'll see. But for me, man, my segment really, I just want to spend on Thursday. The master class that we put on. Only Manchester United could put on
Masterclass?
the worst.
Is
Yeah,
that
let me
what
tell
you just?
That wouldn't be the word. That's not the word I would use.
no. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Yeah, land.
Only Manchester United could give you the worst performance, and then top it, Hold on, with a good performance, a bad performance, and then just an out of this world performance, all in the same game. Because honestly, I don't know if you guys remember, the Ugarte goal seems so far long away from me. The first goal that happened, that got crossed into him from Garnacho, what I thought was a great pass, that seems like so long ago. The Delo goal, again, I was like, I completely even forgot that happened. Bro, I went outside to start cutting the grass because I thought we were good. And then my phone kept vibrating, and I was like, what is going on? And I saw a foot mob that said 2-2. And I was like, I stopped. Mid-mo, I stopped. I was like, what is going on? So, but no, man, I think it's just that's just who we've been all season, man. You know, we can collectively say, you know, on this podcast, Arsenal, you guys are the best team. Like, I'm not gonna say that you guys aren't. You guys, Liverpool, you're the best team. Chelsea, you guys are like the new startup, the YNs. You know what I'm saying? It's like no, I'm being for real. It's like
yeah.
Hey, no, YNFC.
The Lions is wild.
Yeah. So it's because it's clearly like you guys have some talent here. You know what I'm saying? Like follow up with us in a few years. But us, we're not the best team. You can say we're the worst team. I would say we're the most entertaining team in Europe. There's nobody that tops us. Oh, Real Madrid just did this on. Arsenal knocked out Real Madrid in the Champions League. People don't even talk about that because
we're about to talk about it
because of what happened on Thursday, man. But shout out to Harry Maguire, man. I just there's so many people that I wanted to shout out. I mean, Kobe Mainu coming on, like you have barely even played this season, out with injury. You come on, you score, you give us that spark. You know what I'm saying? Bruno, you convert the penalty. Casemiro, I said this a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but this guy has been so instrumental these past.
One more year.
Why not, Mike? Hey, listen. I know Casemiro is good in those cup competitions. He has the experience. He knows. He just can't. If you're going to ask him to play week in, week out in the Premier League, he's not going to be able to do that. He's just not there physically. But his experience is so invaluable, especially with a team like ours right now. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to Maguire. I mean, you talk about a guy who has had so much criticism from the first day he's walked in, from that first season, myself included. You guys have been on here with me, said a lot of things about Maguire, but you talk about, you know, redefining yourself in terms of just working. I'm not saying that he's improved dramatically as a player, but with all the issues that we've had as a team, you look at him, that's someone who put his head down and worked. He didn't pout. He just worked. I'll just leave it at that. He just worked.
No, that's fair.
He just worked. So you have to give him credit. And that to me was like when Fernando Torres scored that goal for you guys in the Champions League where all is forgiven. Yo, Maguire, you have a shooter here. You will never hear me say anything about Harry Maguire.
You're good in Greece now.
Hey,
you're invited to the barbecue. That's what you said.
No comment. Yeah, you're not even invited to the barbecue for real. But if you came, I'd be like, okay, that's
come on in.
Yeah. Shout out to him though, man. It was really inspiring to see. Now, like, you know, we have a moment like that. I would like to see the team, you know, come together and really get up for this Atletico Bilbao tie, because that's going to be the toughest game of the competition for us. And you know, if we just did that versus Lyon to lose to Bilbao, then what was it for, really? But beautiful moment, man. I've been disconnected from this team emotionally, like Cornelius said a few years back. But Thursday, bro, I almost shed a tear. It was crazy.
They made you feel something.
Oh, Mike, it was a great moment there, man. I had my son with me too. My daughter was a little scared when I was celebrating. My son was right there with me. He was right there with me. Nah, man. So shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to Amarim. People have a lot to say about this and that. Carrie actually DM'd me. I'm gonna put you out on Front Street, Carrie. Carrie said Amarim out. And I didn't respond. I didn't respond, but this is my response to you, Carrie. Absolutely not.
Wow.
This guy is the real part of our club. 100%.
Salam the gasser. Hey,
we have to give him credit the same way that we talk about, why is he making these dumb decisions like that? For you to think about this though, for you to take off a striker, Rasmus Højlund, and you put on Kobe and Maguire up top. Now, granted, obviously, the chance fell to him. Maguire scored. But, come on, man. This guy in the Europa League has, I don't want to say flawless, but he's coached us to very good performances. We were up 2-0 in that game and squandered a 2-0 lead. That's not on him.
Dude,
what?
I was shocked.
That's not on him. Look at the first leg. Look at the first leg. First leg, we were supposed to, and then what happened? Onana decided to express himself. Now we're in 2-2. What? He coached us to a dub in two games in a row. We were up 2-0 in that second leg. What do? You show your true colors. You squander this opportunity. 2-2. We go down 4-2. What was it? Did we go down 4-2? 4-3.
Yeah, it was 4-2.
It was 4-2. Yeah. We end up winning.
Here it is.
Yeah. Shout out to Ruben Amorim, man. I'm very excited to see what you do this summer.
It was wild. I got out of work. I looked on my phone. I was like, I swear the last time I looked at this, United was winning. How are they down 4-2? And then I'm like, okay, I just, it's stuck in traffic. I stopped looking on my phone. I look on my phone again. 5-4. I'm like, wait, what happened? I still haven't watched the highlights, but I would like to, watch it back over again.
The time from
it's like 71 on. It's just insanity.
Yeah,
bro.
you should
honestly.
It's madness.
I think it was the time because I think Bruno score first and then it was Mainu. I think it was Mainu and then Bruno. But the difference in the time of when we scored the second goal to the third goal, they were still panning to the commentators. The commentators were still talking, and then all of a sudden you just hear him go crazy, and then what happened. So shout out to hold on. Before I leave, shout out to Shirky. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I saw what you did. And shout out Alexander Lacazette. History has a weird way of repeating itself. Oh man, the celebration.
Such some haters.
Nah, it's crazy.
I had to. Shout out to Tolisso. Yeah, man. Shout out to all the men there, man. Shout out to all you guys. Y'all deserve it, man.
Good dub.
Yeah, no, that's a good stuff, man. I said it last week. I wouldn't be mad if our podcast took Europe. So well done, lad, on getting to the next round.
Who is in the best position to win Europe right now from all of us right now? Obviously,
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. What? So without a question,
I don't even know who we play next. I've never heard of that team. I've never heard of it.
This is the semifinal, Mike.
I've never heard of these teams. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Who else is left?
Betis and Fiorentina. So we missed the tough part of the bracket.
Yeah, no, this is a Mickey Mouse run to the.
It's like honestly, if you guys don't win, bro, it's disgraceful.
Yeah. I almost feel the pressure of losing more than winning it. Yeah,
and it's getting because even this past game, I guess we could talk about Chelsea. Even this past game, we didn't have a good showing at home.
It
You know,
was,
we lost at home
yeah.
to a
Mhm.
team that we shouldn't have. And so, you know, and that's the thing about this Chelsea team. You kind of get, you know, Salam called us a startup earlier, but you know, we are. You know, it's been a rebuild. You know, we thought it was
Mhm.
going to be 1 year. We threw another, you know, $1 billion at it. Second
Mhm.
year, you know, then third year, here we are. We're still fighting for top four. So, um, you know, for me, it was a good week all in all. You know, we got through to the next round in Europe, and then you know we took care of business over the weekend against Fulham. Um, just shout out Pedro Neto, man.
Another banger.
Full like it's one of those where you like he, he traps the ball, he turns it, it just looks so
Perfect.
clean. Like when
Oh.
and then you see it in slow mo, and you're like, this probably was always going in. After that
Mhm.
first touch and the turn, you could probably 9 times out of 10, it just looks like a video game simulation at that point. You're like, oh no, he's gonna
Mhm.
bang this. You know, shout out to the boys because that is a tough, you know, Fulham is, you know, it's a derby match. They're, I believe, on the same side of London. I believe they're West London
Yep.
too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are
We're in the
not
same
far from
city,
each other
really.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same, literally the
So
same city.
yeah, so that's hostile territory, and Fulham is not far off. You know, they're probably not
Mhm.
in this top four battle, but they're right on the cusp. So all these points matter to everyone right now. So a massive 3 points for us. And then you know, it's just a great showing for the boys. Honestly, Mike, I don't know how you felt this weekend.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Tariq George. Got his first Prem goal. It was beautiful to
Absolutely.
see somebody to just finish, literally just finish a ball and put the ball behind the net, and that's what he came in and did. He just put his foot through the ball. It was back in the back of the net. Got us going. This was a big needed win for Maresca because after Thursday, you know, bro, we were all losing hope because we're like, if you can't beat Legia Warsaw in a game that doesn't mean anything, how do we expect to win at Fulham? And you know, shout out to Cornelius, he predicted 2-1. Bro, the whole time I was like, we need to do the same thing they did to us. If you don't remember, in their return leg at Stamford Bridge, they gave us two quick ones to steal that game. There's still, well, after Legia, Fulham and Legia are the only two teams to beat us at home this season.
Yeah,
So
they almost did the double on you. That's crazy.
almost did the double on us. So I was like, yo,
Ipswich did, which is crazy.
yeah. Getting that win alone, you could tell at the end of the game how much it meant to all the guys. Like they hear the noise, they hear it, they hear the doubt, and rightfully so. You guys have given us inconsistent performances. I mean, Maresca came out and you know he said Chelsea have not been top four in the last 3 years, so he doesn't know where all this noise is coming from. You know, we've been top four half the year, and that's our beef. That's the fan base's beef. You showed us you can stay top four, so why are we slipping now at the end of the season? That is where our beef is coming from. So like him coming out to say that we've been top four, we're top four, we're good, we're now competing, we're top five. Forest just won today. We're back to six. You have to do this again. So it's like you could do all the talking, but we're in a good position that all the top four teams are going to be playing each other. You just have to show up and pick up your 3 points. That's all we need to do. I think if we can win at least 3 of these 5 games, we should be good. But that's the thing. You can't put your trust in what some other team is going to do. You got to take care of your business. And I'm confident in what we can do, but it's a cautious, I'm cautiously optimistic because Everton, it's not an easy win these days. It's not. I watched the Everton City game. Even though City won 2-0, it was not an easy 2-0 win. It was not. So, though this was a good win, Maresca, you got to come and do it again this weekend. So, that's all I got to say. If we want to get top four, you got to just keep winning because the teams we're competing with, I don't see majority of them losing. We're only lucky because Villa's gonna play City. I think Newcastle is gonna play Forest or something like that. Oh no, they already played Forest. So there are going to be some games that will be in our favor, but we just have to be there to take advantage.
I need you guys to kick Newcastle out of top 5. Honestly, I can't have Newcastle win it on the off chance that Isak we can buy him. I don't want them to get Champions League. I need him to come to Arsenal, man. So I hope you guys won this weekend because honestly, it just make the top 4 or 5 race even more fun. If I'm being honest, it makes everything so much tighter. So it was definitely a hard fought win. That goal, I mean, that second goal was crazy. Yeah, so much power. He is so clean. Probably didn't even feel it come off his foot.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's like Mike said, and like I said a few weeks ago, our last 3 matches: Newcastle, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest. So the teams that are in direct, opposition right now. And I agree with Mike. You just have to take it one game at a time. Can't really worry about who else plays everybody else, but take care of business because this is crunch time. It's tough. It's going to be a tough 3, but this is what we want. And I'll end Chelsea's segment on this. This is truly what you want as a fan. You want to see if your team can rise above, you can rise to the occasion. This match, this is a match that they all needed to win as a team. This makes you stronger. This gives you confidence.
Exactly.
These are the wins that build camaraderie, and there's not a lot of that. We haven't had a lot of these wins. Mike said this very early in the season. You can count on hand the amount of come from behind wins we have. And this was a huge one. This is going to be a very, very statement win for this group, this very specific group. Because, like you said, we're young. Nani Madueke, Pedro Neto, a lot of these guys have only been here for 1-2 years. So they're still trying to learn each other. Tyreek George, even having him come in as a super sub and have the confidence to take that first time shot, it wasn't powered so hard. It was just placement, and that caught the keeper off. He wasn't ready for that. So just having the ability to now have these young guys start to step up and play big in these big moments is big for our team. This is what I like to see. This win means more than a lot of the wins we had in the first half of the season when we're top 4, flying high and scoring 4 goals a game, and everyone thinking that this was going to go on forever. I was like, yeah, this win is good, but bro, show me week 33. Literally show me week 33 this, and this is it builds confidence in me as a fan. So it was huge, very, very huge. Once again,
well said.
But yeah, man, Arsenal did their thing. They took care of Ipswich when apparently it was too much of a job for us. But very, very harsh tackle on Saka, which led to a red card in the first half. Luckily, he was okay. He's just coming off an injury. Don't want to see anything happen to their star player, especially before Champions League coming up. But 4-0 took care of business, did what they were supposed to do. Gabriel, how was your week? I know you want to talk about
the Bender now.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that one to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ipswich was. I mean, I knew we were going to take care of business there. I didn't really expect us to take an L. I didn't expect the lineup. Like some of the guys that started, I didn't expect them to start. If I'm being completely honest, I thought it was a little weird that Saka started. To talk about the challenge, I mean, just atrocious. I don't even know. There's some things I want to say. I'm just not even gonna say them. Because I feel like it was targeted. I feel like it was targeted, but come on. Anyway, we got out there with a 4-0 win. I will say that the first half for us is probably one of our best first halves of the season. The first, people keep saying the first 35 minutes, but I think the whole first half for us was just, we were just flying. It was just class, completely just overtook the game. And it was really, really good to see that, we still just have that quality. Just for these teams that just can't hang with us, just show them why they can't hang with us. It's very clear and simple. Dead them early, and we'll be good. So it was good to see some guys get out there. Ben White, it was good to see him back. He looks sharp as well. So good to see that. But like Salam, I want to spend the majority of my time in Europe today. What were they saying? What was it? Romantada? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. I didn't. I wanted to wait until the tie was over to really speak my truth. Truly speaking my truth.
Dog.
And like I said, I felt very comfortable going into this tie. A lot of people looked at me crazy, commented on our post, which I love the engagement. Continue to engage with us. But I knew my team, and I said this Madrid team we match up very well with them because, like I said, their wingers can't get locked up by our outside backs. I fully believe that. Our center backs are great. Even with Kivior being there, I have full faith in Saliba that he can lead our back line. Midfield-wise, I thought our midfield was stronger. My biggest thing was up top. Will we be fine? And honestly, Martinelli, I know I've spoken a lot about you this season, but this past month and a half, you've held me down, and I appreciate it a lot. Saka, I really can't even speak enough about how good the kid is, and yeah, the chip on the PK, yeah, honestly, it pissed me off. It was really, really bad. I think if you chip, you just should go down the middle. You shouldn't pick a side. But he got it back in blood and chipped him back again. So it is what it is. There's ways to make up for it, and that's how you make up for it. So for me, when it comes to this Real Madrid team, all that little press run and rumors of Ronaldo going in the locker room and all this remontada talk, that just told me it was too much talking for me. Too much talk. It was too much for me. And that's why I knew, they can't hang with us. That's exactly when I knew, you guys are cooked. You guys are finished.
It was over in London.
Even when Saka missed the PK, I was like, I'm still not worried. I'm not, because, bro, where was Mbappe? Please, someone tell me. He was on clamps. Both legs. Someone tell me where Vinny was. Please. He was on clamps. Both legs. And that goal that he got, it was pure mistake. Sure, good press. You get the goal. Raya shouldn't put us in that position anyway. But even after we get the goal scored on us, I still feel completely confident and totally like, we're not going to lose control. This isn't a comeback. This team scored one goal in 2 legs, and it was a goal that really we shouldn't have given up. It was completely our mistake. Outside of that, this team rarely had any chances on target. They didn't have a shot on target in the first half. Their only shot on target, I'm pretty sure, was the goal that we gave up. And people want to say, we sat in, we did this, we did that. We beat Real Madrid over 2 legs, 3-0 at home, and we beat you at the Bernabeu. You want to close the dome to make it louder, make it more of an atmosphere. Sure. What do they say? Rice cooks better when it's covered. Bet. Good.
Back-to-back man of the match.
And one of the final things I want to say is that Declan Rice is stamped. I don't want to hear any more Declan Rice.
I agree.
Please. Declan Rice over these two legs shown and proved why he is that player.
Wait, would you say he was the best midfielder in this leg?
100%. Hands down, without a question.
Yeah.
Without a question. He bossed the midfield both matches. And I can't even, I don't really want to speak too early because obviously he's still playing for us, but these are the type of performances where you can really stamp in. We go and win this Champions League, you really can stamp your name as an Arsenal legend this year. No joke. Because if we go on a run where we beat Madrid in the fashion that we did, and you have those type of performances and you continue that through the Champions League campaign, nah, bro, you're stamping your name in history for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I really can't speak enough about his performances over the past, I would say 2 months. Honestly, he's just been flying, bro. He's really been flying and taking it to another level with adding, goals and assists as well. So, my team is doing really, really well right now. I'm very, very excited on where we're going and the trajectory that we have, especially with Champions League is coming up next week. But again, I want to say I'm not scared of any team in the Champions League. And honestly, when I saw Madrid, I wasn't scared of them either. You guys talked a lot. Madrid, please try again next year. You guys are not it this year. Please go revamp your midfield, because I truly think, I told you guys when this tie first happened, our midfield is better than theirs. I've seen Saliba lock up Mbappe how many times now? World Cup in France, he did it. In the World Cup, he did it. All right, not in the World Cup. In France, he did it. Again, here he does it again. Timber, I can't speak highly enough about the guy. 1v1. And Lewis Skelly speaks for itself. You know what I mean? So we match up very, very well with them. And like I said, we match up very, very well with every team that we're seeing in the Champions League, especially. I don't want to speak too early about predictions in Champions League and things like that, but I think we match up very, very well with PSG. So
you're not wrong. I mean, this would be the second time you guys are seeing them this season?
Yeah,
or third time, I would say. Third and fourth time.
And I like our midfield against theirs. I like our outside backs against theirs. I like my center backs against their striker. I like my wingers against their wing backs. And it's going to be fun to watch some of these battles. Nuno Mendes against Saka, going to be fun. Hakimi against Martinelli, it'd be fun to watch this. So
let me ask you this: if you guys go throughout the season and you don't get the job done, how do you feel about this season?
Mike, wait until the Champions League is over.
Okay. No, I'm saying because
catch me at I mean, Mike, honestly, how I'm feeling is that I think we get the job done. Like I said, I have full confidence and faith that we win the Champions League this year.
Okay, that's fine.
I really do, and I really don't see a team being that much of a threat to us at this point.
That's fair.
If I'm being completely honest, I don't see one, bro. I really don't. I think Madrid was our biggest threat because they have world-class players all over the place, but we handled them. We've handled PSG before, home and away. We've handled it. So, I'm not going to get in my head of myself and talk about the other side, because the other side is the other side. They have to get through their draw too. But I like playing against PSG.
Okay. The only reason I was asking was because I've been part of the group that was bantering you guys, three back-to-back second place finishes, and to be honest, I feel like if you guys don't win the Champions League this year, it's been a very good building year, even though it would have been disappointing, no trophy, and maybe another third, second place finish. I still think like now seeing the season, it could be even better. But I'm just saying, just from this perspective, where we are now in the season, I think no matter what happens, you guys can look at this season and maybe get the job done next year. I think you're in a good spot right now.
I think it'd be better it would be better than when they finished second place that year one. When they realized we're actually a lot further ahead than we thought. If you can get this far in Europe, I mean, no disrespect, like Arsenal, you guys have been in have they been in the final before?
Yeah, we lost in the final.
I'm hoping for a rematch against Barcelona.
Against Barcelona, that's right. So, I mean, this is new territory. I feel like for everybody there. So I feel like for when you look at it objectively, and it's like, man, all the injuries, we don't really have a striker, and we've gotten to the Champions League semifinal.
Yeah,
you beat Real Madrid the way you did. I would look at it as like you said, like it's a good season. I
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
and for Rice,
Yeah.
I think like that. This particular matchup, I feel like was his like Gareth Bale moment when he played against Inter, and he had that
Mhm.
moment where I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like he's we know what he can do. If you follow the Premier League, you obviously know who Declan Rice is, but on a European platform, wow,
Mhm.
yeah, like he was. And I mean, in different ways, you could probably argue, to me anyway, the second game was probably better than the first game. Obviously, the first game you had the 2 free
The
kick
goals,
goals,
yeah.
but it's like we went into the Bernabeu, and
Yeah, and still
when
did our
Martin,
thing.
bro, when Saka scored, I was like, wow, and then when Martinelli scored, I was like, damn, like that's
Yeah, this is real.
like this is a real, yeah, this
Yeah.
is like
We beat them over 2 legs, bro, convincingly
Both
too.
games. Yeah.
It wasn't like it was they were just on us the whole time. Nah,
No,
bro.
no.
Nah, like go look at the stats. They didn't have a shot on target the whole first half of the second match.
I
They
feel
did
like
not.
we all knew after that first game in London. We've watched too many of these Champions League
Yeah.
nights, man. We all knew. It's so hard, bro. The only time I can remember seeing like so convincingly, like, yeah, this tie is over in recent time is Liverpool coming back against Barca and Barcelona against PSG. That is like the only ones I can remember right away where we were like, oh yeah, this is completely over. So it completely turning over its head. And even with that, it came down to the wire. And this Madrid team, they haven't been themselves all year. I did not pick them to beat Atletico. Remember, I told you guys I don't think they can beat Atletico.
And they beat them by
Barely,
this
yeah.
touch of the ball. So
because he slipped.
Yeah. But
I told you guys, man, this team is touchable and they're out of their
I still
favorite
got to
club.
finish this thing. You got to finish this thing. For how much
Yeah,
I want to keep bantering you guys, I feel like the time is right. You just gotta
and
get a job.
honestly, I feel like in a weird way, man, the injuries have pulled this team to even tighter, bro. It's
Mm.
like even I don't know, bro. It's a weird feeling if I'm being completely honest. I feel like the emergence of our young guys with mixing in all these different injuries, you got to think about it. I mean, we've had guys injured all season, but we've had key guys out for months, for months on the end. And I feel like, guys have just had to step up. And I feel like it's when you're in a situation like that, you need your other players to support you all throughout that. And I think that just brings the team tighter and tighter and tighter because it just has to be a supportive environment because these are guys' first times in these environments and they're thriving in them, obviously. And I feel like it just says a lot about the club and the environment and what's going on over there. So I have full faith in my team right now. We're performing at a very high level and of course, I would love to have my full team, but I'm loving to see that even if we're down to bare minimum, we can get jobs done.
Yo, big shout
Because
out
once you add a
to
couple guys to the mix, oh yeah,
Marino, man.
add
Marino.
some guys back to the mix. You add some extra guys, some new guys to the mix. It's gonna get really dangerous out here. It's gonna get seriously dangerous out here. So I'm just going with this team week by week, day by day, and we have the opportunity to do something super special. And I think if we just keep the same mentality through this cup, I think we have 3 finals left. And if we can get through this semifinal tie, it's just that point. May the best man win. So
Okay. That's a good way to end that. I wanted to ask you guys a question. Obviously, the NBA playoffs just started here in America, and I wanted to do a quick comparison of all the teams that are currently still in there. So, the top 8 teams on the Eastern Conference in the NBA, and the top 8 teams on the Western Conference. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from 16. I'm going to go up. Each of us get 4 questions. All right, so I'm going to start. Gabriel, I'm going to start with you because you're the first one on my list here. You have Tottenham Hotspur. Who are you comparing them to in the NBA playoffs currently right now?
Who's never won a chip? The Grizzlies haven't won, have they? No, I wouldn't even call them the Grizzlies. Nah, I wouldn't call them the Grizzlies. I would call them I'll look. You call them the Rockets.
Wow,
The New Age Rockets.
The Rockets.
Because remember, like, you got to think about it. You remember when the Rockets had that era with James Harden? Like, they were supposed to win in that era, and I feel like they never really won. Or honestly, you can call them the Clippers. Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers are it. The Clippers.
Yeah,
because the Clippers had squads. They were supposed to win with. They're supposed to win with CP3 and Blake Griffin and DeAndre.
They have all
Jordan.
the money.
Yeah, they were supposed to win with them. They were supposed to win with Kawhi and PG, play podcast P, and they're the Clippers for sure. They definitely the Clippers.
Okay. Next team up is 15th place. Cornelius, who you go with Wolves? Who's a NBA comp to them?
Wolves.
So you got teams like the Heat.
I feel like Wolves is like Detroit. They're like a little scrappy. You know, they like like the bad. Detroit's always been the bad boys. Wolves, you got Cunha, a little bit of a hothead, but he's good. You know, kind of leaving like a misfit band. Like they have some brawlers, but they also have some technical players too. I think that's Detroit, because like they have their Cade Cunningham and Cunha. They're different type of leaders, but
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Nice.
Mike.
Okay.
Manchester United.
Oh, glory, Manchester United.
Who's their NBA comp?
I would say the Warriors. You guys have won a lot recently, but you just haven't been good. I don't know if the Warriors is even the right thing.
I was about to say, I mean,
I don't like that one.
Let me see.
You need a team. You know who I was gonna say? It's not mine. I know who I would say. I would say the Knicks.
That's a very
big organization. Yeah,
that's a very good comp. The Knicks. I'll go with the Knicks. Actually, you have a very illustrious history, but in recent times, you just haven't been yourself. So I think that's been the Knicks. Really, they haven't won anything recently. They're still one of the most popular teams in the league. But yeah, they're not who they're supposed to be, and it's the same with United. So yeah, I think that's a very good comp actually.
Okay. I have Everton. So I'm gonna go with
NBA.
Yeah, I mean in the NBA, and I hope this doesn't sound disrespectful because I actually really like this NBA team, and I really like their player there, but I'm gonna side with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just the team that's been there for a while, as far as I can remember. It's just like, yeah, man, you're in the middle of the pack. It's tough though because the Timberwolves, they have such a dynamic player in Anthony Edwards. So I feel like I'm a little dissing them a little bit, but I feel like it's just a team that's been around. They compete. I don't want to say the Grizzlies, so I would have to say. Actually, I don't know. The Grizzlies actually might be a better fit. I just feel like y'all just are there. And Everton's like a gritty. I'm sorry, Grizzlies. They're kind of a gritty team. Everton is also another gritty team. So that's my comp. Gabriel, back to you. Crystal Palace. Who's that NBA comp?
Oh, I know this one.
The Grizzlies. That's the Grizzlies.
Oh, thank you.
That's the Grizzlies.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Nope. Yes.
Okay. Cornelius, Brentford.
Brentford.
Don't forget about the teams in the West. You got, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Thunder.
Crystal Palace?
No, Brentford.
Or Brentford. I want to say Brentford's the Rockets.
Okay.
Are the Rockets still open or?
Yeah, the Rockets are still open.
Yeah, I want to say Brentford's like the Rockets. They're just like they're kind of a newer team. The Rockets have gone through a lot of iterations, but they do have a young core and they have some ballers. They're kind of just they're good, but they're never going to get to that next level. Like they'll be a first round knockout. They'll make it far in cups, but they're still trying to figure it out. New coach in Ime Udoka, Thomas Frank. He's been there, but yeah, I feel like they're kind of like the Rockets.
Okay. Mike, back to you. Brighton. You're on mute.
I would say Brighton is Orlando. They have kind of a young team, have some vets on there, but they're still young. They play exciting ball, but at the end of the day, they're not going to win anything, but they play hard and they're entertaining to watch. So I'll say Brian's comp is Orlando.
Okay. Next up, we have Bournemouth. Someone's already said the Pistons, right? Yeah.
I think Cornelius said the
Pistons. So I just want to be careful here because I don't want to go to here's the Pacers. They're the Pacers. They're the Pacers.
Small town, yeah, yep.
Small. I mean, always kind of in the mix. They're there. They're not. They're not on the bottom half. They're not on the top half. I guess they are on the top half, but yeah, I would say the Pacers, man. They don't like the Fulham. Just don't really have we could probably go through and probably tell you their best player, but I feel like the Pacers really don't either. I mean, I guess Halliburton is there, but I don't know. You know how I feel about his shoes. So next, Gabriel, back to you. Bournemouth.
We just did Bournemouth.
We did?
Yeah.
I thought we did Fulham.
We haven't done Fulham.
We haven't done Fulham? Well, mine was supposed to be Fulham. That's who the Pacers are for me. You can do Bournemouth.
Oh, okay. Fulham, that's who the Pacers are for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have Bournemouth.
We got teams on the Western Conference. So on the West, we got teams like the Grizzlies are out. The Warriors are still available. The Timberwolves. I believe someone said the Clippers. Right? Yeah. Someone said the Clippers. The Nuggets, the Lakers, Rockets, Thunder.
Obviously, they're the Rockets for sure. They're for sure the Rockets. No, Cornelius said the Rockets already, right?
I think so. Yeah. Like you're on mute.
No. So
Miami Heat are still available.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There could be Bournemouth.
They're the Heat. They're the Heat for sure.
Heat culture, Bournemouth culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're the Heat. Great show. They're the Heat for sure.
Okay. Cornelius. Now it's starting to get good now. Cornelius, Aston Villa.
Oh, I have a good one.
Villa.
Who has some washed up? I mean, who has some veteran players?
Milwaukee. Villa could be Milwaukee.
You know what? Villa is kind of like Milwaukee.
Okay.
Old glory teams with old glory.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Some superstars that were banging back in the day. Damian Lillard and a couple of the Kuzma and the other guys. They were banging.
Yeah. Kuzma.
A lot of vets, though. Yeah,
they're not doing anything.
A lot of newly acquired vets over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, Chelsea football.
Oh shoot! I got Chelsea. Chelsea.
I got a good one for y'all.
I want to say Cleveland, but
I was gonna say
I'll
we probably
say-
OKC.
I'll say Denver.
Okay, see, you're not the best team in the.
I'll say Denver because we've been good recently, but of late we're just trying to figure ourselves out. And I feel like Denver, since they won the championship, they got tossed out a couple of times, and now they're playing with an interim coach, so it kind of fits what we have going right now. We're kind of rebuilding, even though we have some talent to compete. So I think I'll go Denver, Chelsea, Denver.
That's a good shot.
Okay. Next up, we have Manchester City. I have two teams on the top of my head right now. The first one is the Lakers, just because I feel like they're an older team. It's like time for both teams to kind of go through that transitional period, I believe. So I was going to leave it at that. But I also was going to shout the Boston Celtics because we all know who the best team really is. Even though they're in second place, it is kind of what it is. But I'm going to stick with my first one. Man City is Los Angeles Lakers. Gabriel, back to you. We have 4 left. Newcastle United.
OKC.
Mm.
They're the new kid. They're the new kids on the block.
That's a good one.
They have one of the hottest stars in the game right now. Got a couple of vets, but still got a couple of young stars. Anthony Gordon, Isak. You have Shaw. You have Chet. They got a nice squad, and
I like that shot.
they're not Newcastle's in the top, but they're third right now, so that's pretty much top. That's OKC for me.
Cornelius, Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Who has some history? Now you need somebody with some history.
I mean, I guess that would probably be Arsenal.
No, you can't do it.
Oh no,
we said Forest. Yeah.
Nottingham Forest. Who does have some history?
So we already did the Rockets. The Clippers are taken. No one's taken the Timberwolves. The Bucks. Did anyone take the Bucks?
Yeah,
we did Bucks and Wolves.
Okay.
They're
So
not the
Knicks,
Warriors.
Pacers, Pistons, Magic, Heat, Celtic. I think we damn near got all the East except the Cavs.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to, I guess, go somewhere on the West. Who you?
Yeah, they're probably the Wolves. See, it's a tough comparison. Nottingham Forest history. They used to have KG. They used to have some high players.
Trail Sprewell and
even
Wally
Kevin Love.
Zerbiak.
Even Kevin Love.
Wally.
But they were, but
my favorite, Sebastian Telfair.
Hey, Sebastian Telfair was a hooper.
Nasty.
I think Mr. New York basketball. I think
you already know.
But yeah, Nottingham Forest. They slowly just built and built and built, and I feel like that's what the Timberwolves have been doing over like the last decade. Obviously they had the Rudy Gobert era, and he's still there, but they've now shifted it to the Ant era. So you got some stars there.
Oh yeah, no, he is with the Wolves. I'm tripping. Where was he at? The Jazz. The Jazz.
He was, yeah. So yeah. So they're probably the Wolves.
Okay, Mike. Last one for you, Arsenal. You're on mute.
Arsenal is definitely Cleveland. I'll say Cleveland, the only team to come back from 3-1, down 3-1. Arsenal, the only team to go invincible. I don't know if that's even the same thing, but I don't know. It feels like teams that have been good but haven't won the big one enough. And I don't know. I feel like it's a fair comparison. Cleveland has rebuilt their team to become a juggernaut. Arsenal has done the same thing. So probably pick Arsenal. Cleveland for Arsenal.
Last but not least, we have Liverpool. I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors, another team that has been dominating for a while, but you can kind of tell that even them, they're in that transitional period. So the Warriors, I think, they're a dark horse team. I feel like in the playoffs,
Very dark horse.
but
Yeah,
I feel
feel
like
bad for man.
yeah. But yeah, no, that was good. That was fun. Just wanted to do some quick comps. Obviously, the NBA playoffs just started, so I wanted to get your guys' opinions there. Gabriel, how did we do on Lock of the Week?
Man,
Smashed it.
not cute, not cute. So my lock unfortunately did not hit. Sad day. Brentford actually. My lock was going to be Brentford, but ended up not hitting. Cornelius's lock of over. It was over 2.5, I believe. Right, Cornelius?
I thought it was under 3.5.
Oh, under 3.5, but that hit. Mike's over for the it was the Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Aston Villa Newcastle. That hit 3-1. And then Salam. Your lock hit. Wolves 1 winner draw, 1-0 hit. So we went 2 for 2. Not the greatest. We really should have went 3 for 4, honestly, at least. But
we have to tally up, see who's hit the most throughout the season.
Definitely me. But I'll say for next year, what we should do is the winner. I feel like we should pick a team from the Premier League that's not our teams. Pick a kit, and we'll give it away to one of our listeners.
Nice. I like that.
But you have to be subscribed to Patreon, and you have to be following on all of our socials.
We need to qualify.
Yeah, you have to qualify. There
are rules.
So I guess let's do predictions, shout outs, and get out of here. Predictions. Who do y'all see?
I wanna.
We see Everton, I believe, on Sunday. At home. This is a big game for us. I think we've been good against Everton the last few years. I'm not gonna say the last few years. I'll just say last season. 2 years ago, they tied us at home. I will never forget that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say another 2-1 win. I think we get away with all 3 points. I like this win we just had. I hope it propels us in that game to another win, especially at home in front of the home crowd. Being 6th place would also motivate them. So I'm gonna go. We get the win 2-1.
We see. Oh, my fault.
No. I just said I'll second that.
We see Crystal Palace at home. They haven't beat us in like 3 years. I mean, I can give an early lock of the week over 2.5 for sure. We're definitely scoring at least 3 goals. But yeah, Arsenal 4-1. Maybe we'll give one up 4-1.
Yeah, we play Bournemouth away from home. Again, this is just a formality. We have to play the games that are left in our schedule. Gabriel, I'm going to tell you now, my lock of the week is going to be Bournemouth winner draw.
Winner draw. I love it. I love it.
So, Bournemouth winner draw. I mean, Amarim said that he's going to rest the guys for the Europa League. We have the first leg of the Europa League tie that following Thursday, so I don't really anticipate anybody playing, or at least I don't hope so. So I might even go Bournemouth money line because I think winner draw is the odds are too steep there. But
NL.
Yeah, and then I'll give you my Bell prediction on Sunday night because
facts. Me too. You're on PSG position on Sunday.
Romantada empanadas. Yeah. Shout outs.
The United in 5.
The United in
2.
Oh man. So
shout out Tyreek George, man. Congrats on your first senior goal for the club in the league.
Yeah.
He's been a great spark for us. Got a goal in Europe. He's got a goal
Yeah.
here now. So big things, big things.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Maresca and the boys, man. We needed this one. Needed, absolutely needed this one. So yeah, shout out to Pedro Neto himself, man. We need more goals from him. He's been stingy with the goals this season, but every time he scores, it's a banger. But we need more. We need more from Pedro Neto.
Okay, I'll go next. My first shout out is going to be to Leeds United for being promoted back to the Premier League, them and Burnley. So shout out to them. I also wanted to shout out FC Cincinnati and Evander. Again, my shout for MVP this year already has been one of the best players in the league. And my last shout out actually is going to go to one of my favorite players of this generation and one of the most underrated players of this generation, Antoine Griezmann. Just signed another extension at 34 years old to stay at Atletico Madrid. He's not going anywhere. You know, he was there battling with Messi and Ronaldo at their heyday, and still was able to turn that team into a competitive team. So shout out to him, man. Definitely one of the legends of this generation, and you know, one of the clear examples of what longevity looks like in this game. So shout out to you.
I have shout out Arsenal, the whole squad. That speaks for itself. My two big shout outs, man. Shout out Brad Stuver again. I mean, I just can't shout him out enough. But man of the match performance this past weekend, able to get the clean sheet away from home, helped his team get a 1-0 win. Can't speak enough about the Viking alum, Cleveland State alum, Brad Stuver. So man, shout out to you. And then also for my other team that I support in the not other team I support in the NWSL, but the team I support in the NWSL. Man, shout out Kiki Pickett, man. She scored another banger this week. Guided her team to a 1-0 win away from home as well. I think it was against Carolina. So shout out to her, man. She just keeps scoring bangers. It was like a volley 25 yards out, top bins. It was a beautiful goal. So shout out to her.
Good stuff. Cornelius, you got anybody? Did you go yet?
Yeah, Tyreek George.
All right, George. Yeah, man. You know, I will say though, I think from all of our teams, I think one of the things that this season has really brought us is I feel like all of us, we have like a crop of young players that are coming into our teams.
Yeah.
There's a few guys on Chelsea where I'm like, you know, I would like to see them get some opportunities. Obviously, you know, what Arsenal have done with Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, and then you have the kid who is supposedly the next wonder kid, the next Odegaard, you know. So, and then you know the guys that we have as well too. Shout out to Cheeto, Aiden Heaven, and all those guys, man. But
Joshua
good
Champ-
episode, guys.
Yep.
Huh?
I said Joshua Champo.
Oh, Joshua Chempong, yeah.
Yeah.
You said
Well, yeah, man.
Crazy.
But good episode, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, we appreciate your guys' continued support. Good luck to you in your future endeavors.